So many CinemaCon announcements over the past few days. From new movie posters to title drops to, of course, new trailers. This trailer just dropped. I've got to talk about it because it's the return of The Hunger Games. You remember The Hunger Games, right? Suzanne Collins' trilogy of books that was made into huge hit movies, starring Jennifer Lawrence as Katniss Everdeen. I love those movies. I'm a fan, obviously. Still got my Mockingjay pin. And so sometime later, Suzanne Collins wrote a prequel book, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And so here's my story with it. It's actually kind of funny. Because before it even came out, it was like in 2020. Before it was even released, they announced that they were going to make a movie out of it. Yeah, that's true, I remember. So when I got the book, I read about a third of the way through and then stopped. You can still see the bookmark. The book is actually divided into 3 parts, like the original Hunger Games trilogy books are. They're all like that. And so I read part 1 and then I stopped, because since I knew a movie was coming, I didn't want to spoil how it ended. I know some of you might laugh at me for that, but what can I say? I am more of a movie person than a book person. And even though I have read a third of the book, it's been about 3 years since then, so I hardly remember a whole lot of it. I do remember some things though. So alright, we finally have our very first trailer for the movie adaptation, The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So what do we got? Alright, well, here's the premise. This is a prequel. It takes place around the 10th annual Hunger Games. If you remember, the original stories took place around the 74th, 75th Hunger Games. So this is quite a few decades before Katniss. This trailer starts out by letting you know that this movie has a pretty stacked cast. Viola Davis is gonna be in it. She's one of the best actors in the business right now, if you ask me. Peter Dinklage is gonna be in it. And apparently he's playing Dean Casca Highbottom, the creator of The Hunger Games. So cool, Peter Dinklage as a villain again. I mean, we all know he's a great actor if we watch Game of Thrones or X-Men Days of Future Past, where he was Bolivar Trask. He was awesome in that movie. And he was a villain in there too, and he was a great villain. So he's probably gonna kick ass in this movie, as he does in most everything he's in. And so, like I said, it's the 10th annual Hunger Games, and so we start off with our reaping. And from District 12, which we all remember is the really shitty poor district, our female tribute for the 10th games from District 12 is Lucy Gray Baird, played by none other than, hey, look who it is. It's Rachel Zegler, getting that work. We Zeglians, we love to see it. Yeah, as you may know, I've been a fan of hers from day one, ever since I saw the very first teaser trailer for Steven Spielberg's West Side Story. I thought she was pretty good in Shazam! Fury of the Gods. She's an awesome young actress and a great singer. And from what I remember about the character of Lucy Gray Baird in the book, she's really different. She's artistic. We see her with a guitar at one point, so she's a musician. She really makes a surprising impression on her mentor. And who is her mentor, you might ask? None other than a young Coriolanus Snow. If you remember in the original Hunger Games trilogy, Coriolanus Snow is the president of Panem, the nation where they all live. In the movies, he was played by Donald Sutherland. Very, very well, I might add. So in this prequel, he's 18, and he's played by Tom Blythe, an actor who I've never heard of before, I'll be honest. I can't tell you a single thing he's been in before this. I can't even tell you if he's a good actor or not, because I just don't know him. But it's interesting though, so alright, Coriolanus Snow is actually the main character in all this. This is his story. I saw a Twitter post comparing this movie to The Hunger Games as like Wicked is to The Wizard of Oz. As in, this is a prequel that sheds light and provides new backstory for a character that we know as a villain. Just like Wicked does for the Wicked Witch of the West, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes does this for Coriolanus Snow, or Corio, as he goes by. And so, seeing as this story revolves around him, I imagine it's not going to end very well. I don't think it's going to have a happy ending. I mean, granted, the original trilogy had a bittersweet ending. Not exactly the happiest. But I feel like this movie's ending is going to feel like Revenge of the Sith's ending, where everything just sucks now. You know what I mean? Like, this is going to be the story that molds Snow into the Snow that we know from the original trilogy. The hardened asshole that he was. We get to see the genesis of that here, I guess. Alright, well, cool. I'm down with that. Again, seeing as I do not know how the original book ends, and with the movies being as faithful to the books as they are, because they are pretty faithful, I'm gonna go out there on a limb and guess that Lucy Gray Baird, as nice and awesome as she is, probably, I don't think she is going to make it out of these games alive. You remember that first look picture they released a while back? It looks like Snow and Lucy Gray Baird, they form something of a romance. So if I am predicting the end of the movie 6 months before it comes out, I feel like Snow is going to care really strongly about Lucy, and so if/when she dies, that is going to scar him and change him inside and turn him into a hardened douche. If they pull off those emotions well, this movie could be really good. I mean, it looks really good. This trailer looks great. We're back in the world of Panem. And of course, in this trailer, we see some Easter eggs. Jason Schwartzman shows up as Lucky Flickerman. We remember that name, Flickerman. Caesar Flickerman was played by Stanley Tucci in the original movies. So I guess being the host of the Hunger Games, the MC, is a family thing. It's a family business. Honestly, that does seem kind of forced. But whatever, you know, that's just a slight nitpick. Josh Rivera's gonna be in the movie. We remember him as Chino from West Side Story. I feel like Rachel Zegler had a lot to do with his casting, since those two are dating in real life, so maybe. He is a good actor though. And the trailer ends with that quote from Snow from Mockingjay Part 1.
It's the things we love most that destroy us.
That's two trailers that I've talked about in a row that bring back quotes from older movies. What a coinkydink. But I feel like that quote is gonna mean a lot in the context of this movie. The things we love most that destroy us. It looks like Snow having his romance with Lucy. I feel like her death is probably gonna destroy him. That's just a theory of mine, we'll see how it goes. This movie does look really good. I love being back in this world of Panem and the Hunger Games, even if it is just for one extra round. Since as far as I know, I don't think Suzanne Collins is planning on writing any more books in this franchise, at least not right now that I know of. So one more story to be told in the world of Panem and the Hunger Games. I like the visual aesthetic of how this movie looks, and I think we're gonna be in for a good movie. It's gonna give us all the emotions that we are used to feeling from the Hunger Games stories. So tissues might be advised. I like it. I really like this trailer. This is one of my most anticipated movies of the year, and it looks like it won't disappoint. So, the official trailer for The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Have you watched it yet? What are your thoughts on it? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And of course, thank you for subscribing. Now, if you'll excuse me, I am ready for some Star Wars Jedi Survivor, baby. Let's fucking go! Peace!